Hi, my name is Charles White, and I'm the lead pastor of Lake City Church here in Lake Charles, Louisiana. Lake City Church is a church where we believe that people are going to live life beyond limits. And we're going to do that because we love God, we love people, and we're living out our purpose. That's the vision of our church, to love God, to love people, and to live out our purpose. Some of the things that we value here at Lake City Church all include worship. We love to create a safe environment where people can encounter the presence of God and have their lives changed. Community. We don't want to just be a church in the community, but we are a church for our community. We love relationships. We cannot do life alone. We're also advocates and practices of generosity. We love generosity. And there's several other things, but those are the ones that I want to highlight right now. After pastoring and living in bigger cities for about 16 years, somebody asked, why did I move to Lake Charles? First of all, Lake Charles is home for me. It's where I was born and raised. But that's a secondary factor. The primary is that Lake Charles sits 2 hours west of Baton Rouge, Louisiana, and 2 hours east of Houston, Texas. It sits right in the middle of two major cities in the South. And because of that, it's become a hub for growth, for expansion, for community development, for business expansion. Corporations are moving to Lake Charles. And so there's a lot of potential for residential and commercial development, a lot of potential for economic growth. And all those wonderful things are happening. Lake Charles was just voted one of the top 10 cities for retirement. People love this great family-oriented, business booming town. But one of the things that I recognize and God was tugging on my heart about was that while every aspect of life seems to be growing, there's one aspect of life that seems to be lacking, and in some places, in some areas, even decreasing. And that's in the spiritual life of our city and our community. And I'm convinced that God has sent me back home to Lake Charles, Louisiana, to jolt a life-giving, energizing, and life-changing experience back into our communities, not just the church community, but the community as a whole. And so while if I had a personal choice, I may not have chosen Lake Charles, I know and I'm thoroughly convinced in my heart that God wanted us to be here so that after being in Texas for 16 years, my wife and my family and I, we've already moved to this great city. We're already embedded in the community, and we're loving on the people even as we speak. And we have a lot of them waiting on our church launch. But in the meantime, we're having fun doing life together and just getting to know our community and loving them the best way that we can. Lake Charles, again, is a great city. It's the perfect candidate for a life-giving church. It's a perfect candidate for a life-giving church, and that's why I'm excited to be here. And it's one of the reasons why I'm excited to be a part of ARC and potential ARC planter. Somebody asked, why ARC? Well, I've been a part of a lot of fellowships and I'm connected with a lot of people, but none so significant or distinctively significant as ARC. ARC has great systems, great information, great resources, most of it second to none. I've never encountered an organization that has prided itself on getting the best that's out there for you. And as a church planter and pastor, I know that we make the best decisions as pastors when we're given the best amount of information. And so ARC is second to none when it comes to that. But in addition to the resources and information and the monetary assistance, the high degree of family that you get, the network of believers that are more like brothers and sisters that you get as an ARC planter is just second to none. The accountability, the credibility, and the family that comes with ARC is just phenomenal. It's what attracted me to ARC. It's also why I want to be a church planter with ARC. To give a stable, safe, life-giving church that's accountable and that's destined to succeed, not just for my sake, but for the community. I believe that the community will thrive well. Lake Charles will benefit greatly from being part of a life-giving organization like ARC. That's why we're here. That's why Lake City Church is here. And hopefully that's why I and ARC will be planning Lake City together. We'll see you soon.